All right, greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the Nation Network. Vince McSham with you here, and I know, right now there is a Survivor Series or Royal Rumble, whatever the hell we got going on tonight. Survivor Series, isn't it? I am not watching. Today's product is very, very difficult for me to wrap my brain around, so I am not watching that tonight. However, there is so much crap going on right now that I feel like, we could jump in here and have a bit of a conversation. I've only got a little bit, but haven't streamed in a little while here, and I just wanted to get back out there in front of you guys, let you know some of the stuff going on here. So on Tuesday night, if all plans remain intact the way they should, then we will have a few different events going on, which will include the NWA. Will feature the NWA in its different aspects as we do it here on the Nation Network, which includes NWA Hollywood and NWA Power, things of that nature, and that'll be on Tuesday night late on Eastern Standard Time zone of somewhere near 10 p.m. start time, and then it'll fluctuate throughout the night as I put different programs together and come back online. Saturday, this coming, will be a big event, and of course Thanksgiving itself will be the Survivor Series featuring the Monday Night War era roster right here on the Nation Network. So prime time, I love it when he starts watching from work, man. Feeling like I'm playing hooky. How you doing, brother? So let's see, a couple things I wanted to talk about, and number one on the agenda, since NWA Power is kind of my jam right now, and the thing that I am really kind of revolving this season around, which is still on 2K19, by the way, because 20 is just so broken still. What happened to Jim Cornette? Now, even though there's a lot of things about Cornette I do not, I won't say like, I just don't respect. Number one is the way he just blackballs everybody from his Twitter the minute you have a different opinion than his, because then you must fucking have no brain whatsoever and you don't want to deal with you. So I think anyone who's so close-minded that you cannot listen to the other person's side of the story and entertain or at least debate back and forth, because I threw some real basic facts at him one time, and I don't even remember, I know it was political, but it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't like I was saying, oh, Jim, you're a fucking idiot or anything like that. I was respectful, and I just said, yeah, but how about this? And boom, that's it. You are no longer able to see his tweets. And I'm like, okay, that's how the left works. And the irony in all of that, and the reason I share that story with you guys, is if you haven't heard, and I'd be amazed anyone watching this channel hadn't heard, he got fired essentially from NWA as a broadcaster for the fact that he made a comment that was considered to be racially insensitive. The moral majority that control every damn word we say nowadays are afraid of offending somebody, and how our words can hurt them so deeply that they'll boycott our product. The same people that vote the same way he does, and the people that he thinks have brains more than people who with contrary opinions, basically ran him out of his own job. The Roosters have come home. And the comment, if you didn't hear it, which by now I'd be amazed, but it's an old joke that he's told before, and back in the day he came up with it for Bubba Rogers. And he was talking about the Trevor Murdoch match, and he was describing Trevor Murdoch as being so tough that he could strap a bucket of chicken across his back and ride a motor scooter across Ethiopia, which, of course, isn't even a timely joke anymore. This was discussed with him and Brian Alvarez on the Jim Cornette Experience recently, and Brian basically said the same thing. It's really a poor taste joke, and it's not even that funny anymore, because that was a thing in the 80s where Ethiopians were starving. That's not really the case anymore, hence the joke. You know what? NWA has an older audience, so I guess you get it. I got it. And I thought it was kind of funny, but I glanced right past it. It didn't sink. And then you got all those people out there that had nothing better to do than go out and run them out of there. And, well, that's kind of the way that one played itself out. So Yeah, prime time. That's pretty much where everybody's landing on this thing, is that it's not a live show. As a matter of fact, it was recorded back in September, which I didn't think was that old. Recorded back in September. And, yeah, there's layers of people that missed it. And even when they were calling him saying, we're having problems here. And he's like, well, why? You listen to it, you watch it. Why didn't you catch it? He says, well, I actually just kind of didn't even catch it. And he's like, yeah, you think? Because it wasn't that big a deal. But this is the world we live in now. If people decide they want to get you, that's all it takes. And then like a bunch of sniveling cowards, the powers that be, succumb to the pressure of the minions, of people who probably aren't supporting your product anyway. They were just out targeting him. So even though there's a lot of stuff about Jim I don't agree with or don't see eye to eye with, I'll defend him on something like this. It's free speech. And it was not. He didn't drop the N-bomb. And again, it was a stupid joke, if anything. But what goes around comes around, I guess. And I just find it majorly ironic that he ends up getting sandbagged by those that share his point of view on a lot of other things. How does it feel, Jim? To be deleted. M. Hawk, thank you, brother. I appreciate that very much. Actually, you know what? I was going to put a couple links together here, but let me give you guys a chance to take a look at some of the latest and greatest. Creations. Let's go to edit mode. So the second patch has come out. That's the other thing I want to talk about today, because this one cracks me up. A couple of days ago, our second patch came out, which really didn't fix a whole lot. As a matter of fact, it fucked up a lot of things that were working. So 1.03 is now the latest patch for the game. This has to go away, I think. Yeah. We're going to delete that one. And right there, you can... Hold on, let me just show you. Look at this. I mean, when you go into... And I didn't do anything here. I literally did not change this attire at all. But by going into making a second attire, it cropped the fuck out of his hair. So, anyway, we're going to delete that one. Because I was trying to see after the patch if I could finally remove the mask successfully and still keep the hair the way it needs to, and the answer is no. As a matter of fact, I don't think you can even remove the mask anymore. Now, here's the kicker, and this is the part that cracks me up. The 1.03 was destroying PC owners' save files. To the point now where there's another patch available to send them back to 1.02. And I'm not laughing at them. I am laughing at the absolute ridiculousness of this situation. Here's what I would love to see, and it would do my heart good, is if they would give the rest of us a patch that we can go back to 2K19. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, we'll take a look at Billy Kidman, one of my most recent productions here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then let me explain. When you buy 2K20, if you have bought it, if you haven't, you'd be crazy to buy it. But when you do, we'll take a look at old Billy Kidman. I use my same face cam from last year since that worked out so well for me, and I'm equally happy with it this year. When you get the game and you do that agreement in the beginning when you get a new game and all the words pop up on the screen, you must accept this to play. The minute you do that in the system, it tells your account with 2K that you're now on 2K20, and you can no longer go upload logos and face scans to 2K19. So it essentially kills your copy or your ability to create on 2K19, or at least to create well. So, yes, they did finally fix the face scans to the point where you can now move pieces individually around without the face moving it instantly. So thank you, 2K, for something as basic as that should have automatically been working. It was working last year, year before that. Why you guys fucked it up this year, I don't know. Some of this stuff is just placeholder mode, too. I'm going to try and get the more accurate logo for Billy Kidman's shirt, but this is just so I can get it together for the moment at least and be done. So there's Billy Kidman. Yeah, I mean, Jim's going to be probably on for another 3 or 4 weeks if I had to guess, based on how far out they put these things together. They certainly are not going to remove his commentary track and put somebody else's down. I cannot see that happening. I wouldn't even be surprised if there is a disclaimer saying that, Jim Cornette's no longer with us, but these were previously recorded episodes or something like that. This is not mine, the Bubba Ray, but now that's another thing with the new patch. You can actually download people's created work that has logos on it without having all the problems that you generally had. So now if there was something I had up there that you couldn't download, you should have no problem with it now. I'm going to keep him for a little longer. I might have use for it. So I had to make my own Cactus Jack because there is just no way of using Mick Foley in the game and doing anything with him other than Mick Foley. Benoit's been doing pretty well for me. One of my higher downloads next to Moxley. This is not mine, but it is available on Community Creation. Same thing here. Now, with this one, I'll tell you, the face scan is mine. I redid the face completely. So, but it's somebody else's work, therefore I cannot upload it, unfortunately. Malenko came out really well. I'm happy with him. DDP, we've shown him on this channel before. Goldust, I'm still going to tweak him a little bit more. Jeff Hardy, edit. You, again, can't change his face paint at all. You can't even change the color scheme on it. That's how sad this is. Obviously, I'd be taking his face paint, and I'd be going with the flesh tones and see how that looks, and I would have gone with that, but that's not something you can do, so I kind of made my own. We got the purple hair thing going on at this point. This is a little early on in their careers. So this is early. Jeff Hardy. This was always one of my favorite looks that they had. They had those dark purple shirts and things like that. Kind of surprised that a lot of the Jeff Hardy style sleeves and stuff that they don't have in the game. So some of the content there not available. So Jeff's up there and able to be downloaded if you so desire. Yeah, Kate, if you're talking about community creation so far as downloading work, then yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree. Latrell, if you have 2K19 and did not buy and install 2K20, then you should be able to still upload logos and anything you want. If you have installed and initiated the 2K20 game, then you can still go to Community Creations and download things that people make. You can still upload stuff you make. What you cannot do is upload face scans. You cannot upload logos, that sort of thing. Ken Shamrock, we have already shown on this channel previously. Owen Hart's doing pretty well for me. And Perry Saturn, this is a new one. I'm not thrilled with him yet. I don't know that I will be, but for the moment, This is where he's at. I got to do some more work to him and with him. Problem with Perry is he's got all these friggin' tattoos and shit that I don't have that, the models of those tattoos and things of that nature, and I'm not going to go crazy trying to find them all because he's got so damn many of them, and then you'd have to hope they all match accordingly. So let's talk about something else on this game that I don't think they have fixed, and that is when you import a logo and use it as a tattoo, and let's say you change the opacity. We can test it out right now, actually. Appearance, upper body. Apply that. So when you go to your opacity, right now it's at 100%. If I bring it down a bit to kind of fade it into the skin, in this case we'll go way down, even though I'm not going to leave it there no matter what. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, it comes back at 100%. It won't save it with the opacity adjustment. So, yeah, that's the thing. And it bounces right back to 100. So there's the thing. So even if you get these tattoos, they're going to be so over the top and in your face because you can't fade them into the skin at all. So you can do it with any of the game logos. These are all, the tattoos I'm using here are all in-game logo stuff. So they're kind of like placeholders in case they actually fix the fucking game, which I'm not holding my breath for. Latrell, if you have not bought it, please, I'm begging you. If you love me, you won't. Yeah, there's a lot of pretty well-known call makers out there that I have seen nothing from this year, and who can blame them? I mean, seriously, I feel like there's something wrong with me. I think I like the challenge a little bit of the fact that this thing is such a piece of shit that if I can create a halfway decent call on this game, then I must be doing something right. I also feel guilty because I feel like I'm promoting the game in a positive light, which is absolutely not my plan. All right, Rick Steiner, this is one of mine. Let's jump in there and take a look at old Rick. I'm not sure if I showed him last time out. I think I might have. Same thing with the logo. Did I? We're going to test something here in a minute. I had uploaded a new, you see the tattoo? I mean, it is so loud. If I could have faded that into the skin a bit, it would have looked much better. So I went and changed the logo's color, and I'm going to try and upload that again. There's Rick there, and then we're going to have the biker-esque version of him as well. So again, this is going later in his career when he and Scott were kind of doing their own thing for a bit. And this is available to download right now. And again, you can find my work real easily by going to Community Creations on the PlayStation 4, doing a search for One Nation. That's the number 1 and the word nation. All right, we're going to see. I had uploaded it a couple days ago and just hadn't gotten around to downloading it. So let's see about that. John, what's up, my man? Yeah, I am not watching it right now. I'll skim through it later. I did watch a little bit, not very much, of TakeOver. Basically, by not very much means a little bit of the women's Hell in a Cell and a little bit of the men's Hell in a Cell. I can't give it a fair evaluation because I just didn't watch enough of it. Really disappointed with what they did with Tegan. That girl's been hurt so much and has missed so many big events. And unless she's legit injured again and they had no other choice than to do what they did, then I just feel that was terrible. I mean, I know you're furthering a storyline, and now all of a sudden, and that's the other thing, too. What's their girl's name there? her girlfriend had turned her back on her yesterday. What's her name? Little gamer girl, man. I love her to death. I just can't think of her name at this moment because I'm still waking up. Man, I can see her face, and I just can't think of her name. Well, y'all know who it is, I'm sure. Anyway, always been a fan of hers, and kind of she reminded me of Bailey in a lot of ways, that whole fan-friendly thing. Excuse me. Kai, there's more to her name. Dakota Kai, there it is. Thank you. God, that would have bugged the shit out of me. So, yeah, Dakota's actually been on one of the big YouTuber channels on regular, well, maybe not a regular basis, but several times over again. I think it was the NL channel, if I'm not mistaken. And she's just super cool and fun and all that. Kind of like Bailey in that aspect. And I don't know, I feel like you already turned Bailey, which I haven't seen her as a heel at all yet. I don't know how you could possibly sell Bailey as a heel. And if she pulls it off, then I think she's one of the best of all time. She's just too sweet, girl next door, and I think that was something I wouldn't have messed with it. I just wouldn't have. And the same with Dakota Kai. I felt like she was truly a super cool person. I know she's playing a role, not that she's not. But it's hard to root against somebody as cool as her and just leave it be. That said, she did a pretty good job of being a bitch last night. Yeah, I've always been a fan of hers. I really have. I mean, even when they weren't using her much, she wasn't getting a lot of TV, and I'm like, man, it's like I think you guys might want to look into this a little bit more than you have been. You're missing a big opportunity, in my opinion. And once again, it says that I don't have any logos, even though I did upload one. So here's the other thing that's still broken as shit, is that you've got to upload logos sometimes 3 and 4 times before you actually see it appear. So that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, like I'm looking at 3 of them on my screen that should be showing up. And now I also got to figure out where I just saved it at. There it goes. And another thing that tends to help it is if you do different sizes. Like I've been doing the 512 by 512. I'm also going to do a 256 by 256. And that tends to help push things through that aren't uploading. But everything about this game is such a broken pain in the ass. All right, so let's go back now and see if one of them has appeared. Hey, and one of them has. So which size is it? I don't know, but we'll find out. So I've got on my screen 5 of them that should be there, but only one has finally appeared, and that's after over and over again. Oh, boy. And it's not going to download it either, right? You piece of shit. How broken is this game, seriously? I mean, on a 1 to 10, how bad is it? I saw a really interesting, if not frightening, video by one of the developers or former developers of this game. And he explains how he, along with a lot of other people, have left the company in the last 12 months. And that based on income will determine budget. Well, as this game continues to fail, the budget for this and future releases of this title continue to drop as well. So he says about a third. Yeah, that's going to get me in trouble. You can't show that damn tag, otherwise it'll blacklist the entire friggin' video, so hopefully I didn't get too much of it out there. So according to him, anyway, the budget will likely already be getting destroyed for 2K21, that they're already working on it, which I knew that. They always, like when a game releases an annual title, it's not like they say, take a deep breath, let's have a beer. They're already actively working on the next year's edition. That said, he expects that to be every bit as bad as this and maybe even worse. I think we can all safely say this will be the first game I don't buy, 2K21. Unless they have video to show the game works and make some pretty strong statements to convince us that, hey, we know what happened last year. It's not happening with this game. Trust us, it works. Then I'm not rolling the dice. Either way, the most I'm doing is buying the game. I'm not getting a deluxe edition. I'm not doing any of that shit next year. You kiss my ass. Tom Watts, how you doing, my man? I didn't watch enough of War Games to tell you I do or don't, or did or didn't enjoy it. I saw some of Pete Dunne's match. Always been a Pete Dunne fan, even though I don't get to see a lot of them. Wasn't thrilled about the finish, but I thought, as usual, any match he's in is a pretty tough match. And I only saw maybe 4 minutes of it. I thought the bit I saw of the women's Hell in a Cell, War Games, was pretty solid. I kind of got a kick out of the last few minutes there where Bianca was using her hair as a whipping tool, and then next thing you know, she's getting whipped with a cane. Just seeing the quick turnaround on how that happened was, I thought, entertaining. All right, it's still there. All right, this time it'll take. So again, that's a common thing where you go to download your image and crashes the game. All right, Latrell, do you have WWE 2K20 is my question. And I see from your next comment you don't. Okay, well, that really sucks then. So that means that if you're a 2K19 owner who is smarter and didn't buy the damn game, you still can't take full advantage of 2K19 and what it should be able to do. So I don't know even what to say anymore. I mean, the WWE, to me, is fledgling at best. They have no control over their own product, I feel. Now, let's compare and contrast, shall we? 2K sucks at pretty much whatever they do, unless it's basketball, and even then, I have to take your word for it because I'm not giving a shit about that. With 2K, they had a little problem with a game called Star Wars Battlefront 2. And the fine folks at the Walt Disney World Company, a gentleman by the name of Bob Iger in particular, stepped up and said, motherfuckers, you fix it, and you fix it now, or else. And guess what? They have been fixing it nonstop since then, to the point where now I hear it's a pretty cool game. I don't play it very often, but I have it. All right, let's see if it went through as the 512. It did. Apply that. That's going to look a whole lot better. Still won't be able to lighten it up any, but at least the tone works better and it's not in your face the way it was, and I'm much more happy with that. And I'll re-upload him, so if anybody wants the new and improved version of Rick Steiner, coming your way in just a minute. So there we have it. They also fixed the eye makeup thing. If you've watched my other videos, even though I changed the eye makeup, let's say, to a flesh tone and some shadowing just to kind of give them a little bit more going on around the eyes. When you put them in the in-game mode, it would just show up as that bright yellow. That's the default color. So that's been fixed, I believe. It seemed to me like it was working properly. All right, we'll save him, we'll upload him, and we will move along. Sean Nova, how are you, buddy? Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder how I've managed to do as much with this game as I already have. We really haven't done, I mean, what? It's over a month old. Anyone who's watched this channel, I want you to think of this one for a minute. When was the last time a WWE game dropped in the last 15 years that I've been doing this, where a month in, I hadn't already had 7 to 10 shows from Universe Mode? I've done, I think, 1, perhaps 2 at most, because the game's been so broken you can't do shit. All right, let's take a look at what we got going on for uploads. Oh, yeah, that's the new thing. This is the thing. It randomly selected 2 guys just to delete from my upload list. Now, as I say that, and I'm tempted to test it right now, I know that this was John Moxley. It was the first one I did. And I'm drawing a blank on who. This should be Cactus. So that's what was in these 2 slots. If I go to upload Moxley again here, then some other slot disappears. That said, if I go on to Community Creations and search for Moxley, mine is still the highest downloaded for that, which I'm proud as hell of that, because I figured by now people would have come up with more detailed stuff. I did mine, of course, without face scans. So, yeah, it still shows up that way. And I'm afraid if I go and like put them back here, it'll disappear online. And again, it's got a pretty high count. So while I'll always have those votes, and it doesn't even matter because I opened up a diamond. But anyway, I digress. So all these guys are available, including Cactus Jack, who's supposed to be in this slot, and including John Moxley, if you are so inclined over here. So what I'm going to do is get old Rick. I'm going to delete him. Let's see if that did anything. Nope, still missing those 2. Now we're going to put Rick back in. Hope to God doesn't fuck up anything else. Then for shits and giggles, we're going to go ahead and One Nation, there you go. Matthew Soper, how the hell are you, my friend? Not a whole lot. Just getting ready to go to work here in a minute. But I had time to say hello to everybody quickly. All right, so the new Rick Steiner is up there with the improved tattoo of the Bulldog. If you are interested, we'll get you one. So now I've got 3 slots showing that. Fuckers. All right, let me try it this way. Let's go to downloads. And let's go to... And then let's go ahead with this. So Moxley is still there. And Cactus is still there. So all of the characters are still there, and I got a couple of logos down there. Just not on my end. And I'm actually wondering now if I can't just keep uploading more and more into those empty slots without, like, if I use the slot that I know Moxley came from, I'm wondering if that will make him go away here to Community Creations. And as you can see, he's got 3,400 downloads, which by far is the lead. Billy Gunn, respectable, though, at 607. Benoit pulling up there at 244. And the old Rick Steiner got 231, and now we've got him improved, so get hopefully a little bit more life there. Owen at 200. 146 on Dino. Got Raven at 131. Perry surprisingly well at 109. I'm still not really thrilled with the way it looks yet. Definitely still a work in progress on the face and things like that. Just having that time. Pillman I'm a little happier with. Surprisingly, he doesn't have more votes than he does, but that's okay. Or downloads. Same thing with the Road Dogg at 100 even. Shamrock 83. Billy Kidman new. He's only been up a few days now. And last year he was, I believe, it was between him and Marty Jannetty as the most downloaded content that I put up. And they had huge numbers. So hopefully people like the way he turned out again. And this year we got the Flock version of him too. So Goldust I'm still going to do a little bit of tweaking on. Total package like Luger. Bradshaw has done okay for himself. Surprisingly, I thought Cactus would do much better. Since you can't use the in-game model for anything, you kind of have to go with a created wrestler. But, hey, to each his own. I'm happy with him. Same thing with Diamond Dallas Page. I thought he'd do a lot better than he got here. And Rob Van Dam is doing okay. And the Giant I thought would be doing a little bit better. Hardy's new and only got 10 so far. And then there's our brand new Rick Steiner. So there you have it. Matt, happy to hear that she's doing well. Didn't know there was anything going on, but totally happy to hear that. This time of year especially is Thanksgiving's right on the cuspus. If family can be together, that's awesome. This is actually going to be the first year. That's why I'm doing the live stream on Thanksgiving, because you guys are kind of like an extension of my family. A lot of you guys have been around for a long time, and I do truly appreciate you. But due to work and a few other things, this is going to be the first Thanksgiving in my life that I'm going to be going solo. And I'm cool with it. To me, it's a date on the calendar. That's all. But, cousin of mine's got a new house way out on the coast here in Florida, and it's an hour and 20-minute drive, give or take, and I have to work that night. So I'd be coming out of work after working all night long, having to drive an hour and a half, then turn around and drive an hour and a half back and go back to work again that night. That's just way too much for me to handle, and I had to say, gonna pass on this one. But the rest of the family is going up there to see his new house. And the girlfriend has to be with her family. That's a whole long story there. Let's just say my girlfriend's family's not a fan of mine. They don't appreciate good wrestling. No, there's a little controversy there. There's an age difference between us, and they're very old school in their mindset. And she's very family-oriented, so it's been kind of a stumbling block for us that we've managed to get past. We're doing pretty well right now, actually. However, I may never meet her family, and that's perfectly fine if that's the way they want it. But in order to keep everything happy at home, it's like, you know what, go spend it with your family, do the thing, and, I'll see you when you get home. So we're going to be doing some live stream and take advantage of the opportunity. Vampiro, everything good on this end, man. Everything good. Hopefully it is for you, too. All right, I do got to get to work as much as I hate the thought of it. Can't think of any place I'd least likely want to be right now, but got to pay the bills, man. It is that crappy-ass job that allows me to do what I do with you guys. That's how I'm able to drop $130 on a piece of shit game so I can warn you to stay away. Really disappointed to hear about 2K19 no longer working for anybody. I thought it was only for the people that took on the 2K20 franchise. Oh, there is one other one I'm working on currently. It's not ready yet. Let me see. And it might be the last one I do for a little bit. Because looking over the rosters for the time period I'm looking at, there's really not. There's a couple I could add. I just didn't care for them that much that I would want to. Excellent, my man says. Well, that's great. Terrific. There he is. Tajiri is my latest work. He's not done. I am still tweaking face and things of that nature, but early on, this is where we are at with him. Haven't done entrance, haven't done moveset, haven't done none of that good stuff yet. And haven't come up with an alternate attire yet, but I will. There'll definitely be 2 attires on him before we're all said and done. But this is the early on look for Tajiri, so look for him to be coming and getting posted up there. Now, as you can see earlier, all the slots are currently filled, so he'll be the one that helps me figure out. And I'll probably overwrite the Cactus Jack slot since he's not getting downloaded very much at all. This is, I feel, technically mine, but it's not because it was somebody else's work. And then I redid the face scan completely with somebody else's face altogether, but it worked out. It was my face scan. I forget which wrestler offhand it was, but I was able to convert that face scan into a pretty decent Val Venus. And that's one of the tricks of the trade, too, is you don't always have to have the right guy's face to make a decent face scan and make it pull it off. But because it was their original content, they already had the moveset in. They already had, I believe, an entrance in for them. It just saves me so much time when I don't have to do everything and can just focus on the face. His attire was already set, and it's so basic anyway that I really just had to invest a little bit of time in the face, and for that reason alone, I figured it's worth it. But, yeah, it's Val Venus, like I said. All right, guys, I got to go. Got to jump in the shower, got to get to work and do that thing all over again. This Tuesday night, Eastern time zone, I'll be getting on around 10 p.m., give or take a little bit here or there. We'll be doing some NWA. We're going to be doing NWA Hollywood, NWA Power, and that'll be 2K19, so there's a really good chance it'll even work. Thursday, we're going to be doing Survivor Series. Time frame on that. Good question. Glad you asked. I don't know. I'm thinking somewhere near the 10, 11 a.m. Somewhere in that ballpark. Couldn't tell you exactly. But that'll be Thanksgiving Day. And then Saturday. It'll start early. 8:30 a.m. Probably go 1 or 2 programs. Not sure which ones I'll be doing. It might be the Monday Night Wars. That will take us to, let's see, the normal Tuesday night. So our general direction is going to be Tuesday nights for the time being. Everything's subject to change right now. It's based on our work schedules, which are getting ready to fluctuate. Both of us are anxiously trying to transfer out of our current locations, and it's happening. It's, you know, there are pieces in move right now that are going to make that happen, at least for one of us, and either way, that's going to affect days off and what time we get to spend together with each other. So once that is finalized and I have a bigger picture, then we'll go from there. All right, boys, girls, children of all ages, thank you for joining me here on this thing we call the Nation Network. I have been Vince McSham. And thank you for joining us. Have a very happy and safe Thanksgiving. If you can't stop by and join for the stream that I am anticipating having on Thanksgiving Day. In the meantime, you guys have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you soon right here from ringside. So long, everybody.